alone in the car. I'm with Siri. She's driving. I'm fiddling on my phone over here.
Hi. This is a 70 road or 90?
I don't know. Guessing 70 or 90. Could help, right?
Very.
So from how the
Car
car
behind me suggests otherwise. Yes.
Yeah.
Or they're an idiot.
When in doubt.
Drive the lower speed.
Or follow the idiots.
70 being the standard speed for these roads, it's the safest part.
So I have a feeling that it's 90.
Might be. Perhaps if we turn around, these two sides should show. Maybe you can check for me, so we know for next time. I can also see in the rear.
80.
80? Because I was like, they're not really driving 90. Like the car that passed me. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not 90.
Yeah. And the cars if we are driving 70
Yeah.
and we meet cars driving 90, they feel significantly faster than we do. But if it's only 80, 10 kilometers, that explains, because 10 is very hard to tell the difference between. This is 100, right?
Yeah, I'm driving 90 though.
Yeah.
Just comfier. It's such a winding road. Like the turns feels like they're too sharp for 100, in my opinion. At least with this car, it just feels comfier to drive 90. I would love it if we had time to go buy Maxi at the end of the day. If only to buy, like, just to buy our favorite toilet paper and household paper.
So by Maxi, only to buy bog rolls.
What? Bog rolls.
We need grocery shopping then, man.
Yeah.
So smart. So you want to go to a hardware store?
Yeah.
I do not think a hardware store have what you are looking for.
Okay. So what store has what I'm looking
That's a store that sells iron and steel.
for? What kind of store is that?
I don't know what you call it in English, but
Yeah, in London.
yeah. And when you say Järnhandel, most people think about a store that sells shovels, hammers, power tools.
Oh, yeah. That's true. betting on hardware store having it. Like smaller versions. But yeah. You can do some Googling. Maybe you can find some info. Otherwise, I'll just keep sorting by hand, I guess.
What kind of coarseness is it that you're trying to?
Like a 20 millimeter.
So pebbles would fall through, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind if it's smaller. I don't mind having smaller rocks. So it can't be smaller than that. We also want the soil to fall through fairly easily. I mean, it will as long as it's dry. I mean, as soon as it gets moist, this doesn't work. Wet, moist is fine, but if it gets wet, it won't work.
good morning, Nanner.
Hi, Nanner. Alright, we're approaching.
So what is the main goal with this trip?
Curtains. Curtains for the bathroom. And curtains. I mean, this kind of makes me want to just put a circular curtain hanger. You get me? Like putting it all the way. Like, because why not? And then you can move the curtains. Like, you wanna cut the room off completely for some reason? You can. Right? Why not? Why not just make it all the way around? Just a thought.
So I think the biggest reason not to, just as a devil's advocate,
Yep.
would be money. Every meter is yeah.
It's 100 crowns per meter. 140 crowns for 140 centimeters.
That's not the expensive part. A curtain is.
Yeah.
But then again, if you were to go all the way around, you could sacrifice curtain from somewhere else. Like, we don't literally need to have curtains to do the 360.
No, exactly. I mean, when are we ever going to cover it completely all the way around? If we do, then it'll have to be a little thinner. But it was just like, well, what if we want to do a photo shoot in that direction? And we want to have the curtain there. Just I don't know. Maybe it's weird.
I don't think it's weird.
Yeah. If we were to make it the whole way, then we would need 2 more corners. Like 3 more rocks. I think. So you have the measurements on your phone, right? Bathroom is simple, that's just 1 rod. So 140 crowns to put that up. And then there's the little thingies that were like 40 crowns for a bath. And then 2 curtains. I think 1 pair of curtains is gonna be enough. Like I'd like to have 3 there, because it would be richer. But I don't think I have to. We have to.
Are we speaking bathroom now?
Yeah.
The linen fabric is not thick enough to hide the washing machine.
It depends on how many you hang up.
Yeah. Of course, you can double it. But we could also pick a different fabric.
No. No.
Like a mörkläggningsgardin would.
No.
Can you explain yourself?
I want it to match.
Sure.
Is this so weird?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that weird?
But that should be the deciding factor, and we should get a 3-4 times more expensive product, like double, tripling it up. Because like, wouldn't it be nice if you literally could not see the machines?
Literally.
And I'm not sure 2 layers would be enough for that. So then we're talking 3 layers.
I don't feel the need to hide them like completely
Wouldn't
impossible
it be
to see them.
calmer and nicer and more beautiful?
I don't know.
So now,
Grab the wall, wiggle like you're trying to make that ass fall off, ass fall off, ass fall off. Wiggle like you're trying to make that ass fall off. Slow down. Grab the wall. So I'd like to go inside. Can we do that?
no.
Why not? I want to eat in the car. Why do you want to eat in the car?
Jack can be with us.
Oh. Okay. What are you getting? The vegan menu?
I like that both of them are one. Big one, big one.
Weird.
If you approach.
Chicken tasty. Well, if I approach, they're gonna start talking to us. And last time I didn't say anything. They were like, they kept repeating themselves, like, you can order. I'm
Give
like,
me a
yes, I'm
veggie
thinking.
tasty menu.
Veggie tasty menu, Coke Zero.
Yes.
And I'll get a chicken tasty, Sprite Zero.
The weather is good today. It's only 15 Celsius.
Hej och välkommen till beställning.
Ja, jag skulle vilja ha en Veggie Tasty och Company.
Ja, vad vill du dricka där?
Cola Zero, tack.
Ursäkta?
Cola Zero.
Ja. Något mer där?
En Chicken Tasty och Company.
Ja. Och vad vill du dricka där?
Med Sprite Zero.
Ja. Något mer där?
Det är bra så, tack.
Jo, det är bra.
från bilen.
Har jag lyckats glömma plånboken? Tack.
Tack så mycket.
Jag kände ju efter om plånboken var där. Helt seriöst. Jag kände efter om plånboken var i fickan. Och den var i fickan. Och nu är den inte i fickan. What? Hur? Nej men, vad?
So you used it yesterday and earlier today online to order the thing. You checked the numbers when you did the Skapamera order. That's earlier today. And that you would have put it on the computer stand and not brought it would have been...
Jag stoppade ner handen i fickan.
Ja.
Och min hjärna registrerade att jag kände plånboken.
Ja.
Men jag gjorde inte det.
Well, you also did it and said you don't have the wallet, and then you dug a little deeper and said, oh wait, I have it here. So you've done the other way around as well.
Nu är jag så förvirrad.
Don't be.
Ja, som tur är så kan man ju köpa med mobilen.
Well, perhaps don't have the phone on because you have no battery.
Very fucked.
Yes. We have to go to...
Hejsan.
Det är hamburgerskål och blöja.
Absolut. Skulle jag kunna få lite ketchup?
Jag har ett påse.
Absolut, tack.
We have to go somewhere and get a cable.
Yeah.
And charge your phone.
Yeah. Did you bring a power bank? Yeah, we got this.
Actually, yes.
So that's good. 3. Well then.
Well then. Kron has also been to McDonald's, so we're having a virtual McDonald's date.
Nice.
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 Nice. Do you see over there, chat? It's a car!
Wow.
Wow. So amazing. Nanner says her McDonald's always have a homeless man right before you get to the window.
What? So is a homeless man?
Mm.
That's sad. Just adding a little guilt to your day.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think it's good to get a little guilt. I don't think it changes people that are angry and feel angry over guilt. Right, because there's a couple of ways to react to a homeless man asking for money. To feel sorry for them, and share of what you have, however much or little that is.
Mm.
Tack så mycket.
Tack. Or to be angry that they are asking for something.
Yeah, that's
That
rude.
person,
That's
I
mean.
think that the beggar is rude to the person for pushing that guilt on that.
I didn't get any ketchup. He's like, yeah, in the bag. Where? Where is it? Where? Sorry. Go on. Do you want ketchup? I can go in and get.
Homeless man.
Yeah.
Making someone upset. I think the homeless man is homeless person is responsible for making someone irritated. Just as much as someone dressing provocatively makes people irritated. Just the same as someone cutting in line makes someone irritated. The person doing the act is responsible for the feelings of the person who has the feelings. But the same goes towards the person that gets angry, to gets annoyed, that gets irritated. That person is also responsible for their own feelings. In almost every situation in life, there's not one person that is responsible, it's both. Say you lend money to a friend and they don't pay it back. You say, oh, that friend ruined our friendship because he kept borrowing money and never returned it, and it made me so pissed. It is also your responsibility and your blame because you decided it was a good idea to lend a friend money in the first place. Not just a friend who is incapable of returning the money, or maybe did it as a scam all from the beginning. Everyone is responsible for everything, and I keep saying that, oh well, if you get hit by a car walking over a sidewalk, walking over a crossing where you have right of way and someone runs into you, it's their fault, 100%. I don't agree. I think it's, even if we have right of way, that it's our responsibility not to get hit by a car. I don't trust someone blindly just because they're supposed to do. I should always have the margins that I could jump out of the way.
So is it a child's responsibility to not get hit by their parent?
When they're not fast enough to run away, when they can't, when they're sort of imprisoned by their inability to change the situation. That's a difficult one.
I think you're threading on thin ice with these statements.
So my point here is to change my philosophy of how I see life and other people in a way that makes me responsible for my feelings. Like, if I were to get upset with a beggar, it's my fault because I let that person get to me. I let their existence bother me. And for a first part, like getting upset by a homeless man or woman asking for money, I feel sort of ashamed over. I have in the past gotten angry over it, and now I just feel ashamed getting those feelings, and I truly don't think that it's anything wrong with it, and I might even transition to being the person who would actually give to a homeless person. I think that would make me feel good. Definitely make me feel better than what I used to when I felt angry for their existence. And in traffic it has changed. It completely changed how I feel. I used to get angry when people were driving the speed limit, not letting me pass. And this philosophy had made me drive in a way where I am responsible for my own safety at all times, whether I'm right or wrong. And Kron says, do you never just drive out when it comes to like the right of way? When you have the right of way and you see someone come up to an intersection and they should give way to you, that you would just drive out to sort of prove a point that they're doing wrong? Yes, I do that so often. But always in a way where if that person don't see me, I have time to stop. Most of the situations where they think they have right of way and I do have right of way and I challenge them, it creates an uncomfortable situation for them. They have to brake hard and react, maybe swerve out of the way or whatnot. They very often honk the horn, but I would never drive out in such a way that would cause a collision. Even if I'm right, they would be the point of it.
So, why not let them drive? Do you think you can change them?
Wouldn't that be great?
What do you think that?
Yes. Yes, I think it can make people aware that they are not aware. But I also think many times, say on our street, for example, we have right the way going out to Bruksgatan. Like we can drive. If someone comes from the left and we're going right towards the gas station, and someone comes down from the playground or from Stampadan, right? They should give way to us. And I think the reason they don't feel that way is, one, they have just gone around a obstacle, the speed sign. So they have kept their focus on the speed sign, driven around it a little bit, like they have done something. They have been interacting with their driving. And the road they are driving on is straight as hell. It's long, straight, nothing is happening. Quite wide, yeah. So it feels like they would have right of way. It feels like it would be a main street, but it isn't. So I understand why people don't give way. And if I could make someone, if I can teach someone that, I think it's worth it. Because they can cause an accident another time. By being slow and not paying attention. Cider. How you doing, buddy?
There is not space for a drink here. Wait, you haven't even touched your burger yet?
No.
That was fast.
So I think you're right. It's not always both people that are responsible for a situation. I mean, we can add caveats like both adults.
Well,
but then there's like, okay, well, if someone is in a coma, is it their fault that someone is stealing their money?
there are a million instances where it's only one person's fault. I think your philosophy of taking more responsibility is great, but saying it's always both parties' fault, that, like, it's so black and white. That's not how life is. It's never that simple.
Would you prefer if I used a statement like most of the time or often? I mean, it doesn't have to be a volume. It doesn't have to be a volume. Because what I want is to start a thought. So if I were to say, in every situation I want to consider, could I be responsible for it in any way? Like, I could have stayed at home that day and then I wouldn't have gotten mugged.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. victim blaming. And be careful there, if I were you. It's like blaming someone for existing. It's like, oh, it's your fault for existing, and someone did something to you. Like, that's no. It's always the perpetrator. Like. It bothers me that they have put the ABCD in the wrong order. Right to left instead of left to right. It's like, that's not how you read. A or 1, to me, should always be furthest to the left.
Have you heard about
1, 2,
the
3,
thing
4,
called La
A,
Chamada?
B, C, D. Do you mind if we roll?
Go ahead. Doesn't that sign mean you can't drive there?
No.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Then where am I supposed to drive? There's
To
no
the right, and then around the whole complex.